Welcome home. This is the Irish Roots Cafe, where every day's a holiday and there's always room for one more. Come right this way. Have a seat with me again today in the corner booth, celebrating our 60th week. We've got a full house today, not a chair to spare. It's a very special day for the Irish. I'm Mike OLaughlin, your host. Reach me on my webpage at irishroots.com, where you can check out the written show notes on my blog and search all of our podcasts and take a look at all of the books and publications that we put out. It's just another free service from the Irish Roots Cafe. And you can also phone me at 816-256-3360 to leave your comments. You can also leave your family search, your song, or your recitation on my recorder. Try it, you'll like it. Among today's topics, Monroe is the family name of the week. Searching for Horan and Woolry and McMenemy. St. Patrick's Day around the world is the website of the day. Interactive Irish Family History website is on the way, I hope. And County Mayo Genealogy and Family History Notes is the book of the month. Remember to get all three of my free podcasts, the Missouri Irish Podcast, the Missouri Irish Families Worldwide broadcast that we're doing right now, and the Irish Song and Recitation podcast. You can get all three of them anytime, 24 hours a day, on my webpage at irishroots.com. Let's move on to some notes this week. You know, I tell you, every once in a while when these special days come along, we have to be careful. It's one of the only times in the year we put a closed sign up front and make everybody park around in back, all the regulars that is, and they get to stay out on the patio or on the beach, and we have sort of a private little party here. I guess we might make an exception now and then if we see somebody drive up from way out of state with a disappointed look on their face. We might go ahead and crack that door open and let them in the front door. But I tell you, it just gets so busy and so many people that we'd be breaking the law if we let them all in here. The structure just won't stand the strain. Well, let me see what else is going on this week. On our Irish Song and Recitation Festival channel, we've got the surprising story of where the River Shannon flows. And that was our special selection. And I'll bet you've got no idea why that song was boycotted by the Irish. Or should I say that play. It was made to order, folks. It was Irish maids to order, folks. And Peter Riley Adams sings that tune for us once again. So be sure to check that out if you've got a mind to. And our new webpage, number 2 note here. Get ready for our new interactive members area. That's a place where members will be able to chat or email and to share family information if they wish. And I'll try to be there every day too. You can also upload a photo of yourself if you'd like, or you can use one of ours to represent yourself. And I think we've got a couple of free things up there you can use if you don't want to put a photo up, like we've got a shamrock or a leprechaun or one of those types of things. But it'd be good to see who we're talking to, and it'll be just between us members, so think about that. It's coming up real soon here, right after St. Patrick's Day. And we're also going to be putting up some coats of arms databases on there to help research along those lines. And since we've got 3 podcasts, we're going to have 3 rooms based on those podcasts to talk in, or 3 forums if you want to talk a little more officially. One's going to be Irish Families Worldwide, and the second room's going to be History of the Irish in America, and the third's going to be for Irish Song and Entertainment. We'll see how that goes, and if they're not active after a while, we'll change them, we'll make it fit. And I also added a 4th room for everything else, including the Blarney, and I'm open to suggestions. We're not going to blast it wide open for a while. We'll just let some of my old members test it out, and then we'll do a little membership drive. So come along now and join us as it all develops. You never know what might happen. And we just could have some hiccups right after St. Patrick's Day as we change it over, so be prepared. Well, now it's time to move right on to the Book of the Week. County Mayo Genealogy and Family History Notes by none other than Michael C. O'Laughlin. That's one of the 34-volume of books that we have on the Irish Families Project that I was proud to complete here just this year. And I have a link where you can click on that on our blog. And I'll give you a little sample from that book, just especially if you're a beginner. We'll take the introductory little paragraph here. And I got to remind you that we use the census of 1659 in all our books. And a few counties, like County Mayo, Galway, Cavan, Tyrone, and Wicklow, are not included at all in that census. So it's a very useful source, but we have to find other things to substitute for it when it's not available. So we dug up what we could. But I'll start out now from the book that has some 19th century birth index information. And that would be talking about the most numerous families in the county of Mayo in the 19th century. And what do we have but Walsh, Gallagher, Kelly, Malley, Moran, Duffy, McHale, Gibbons, Joyce, Connor, Conway, Higgins, Murphy, Burke, Riley, Durkin, Doherty, McHugh, Sweeney, and Lyons. And you can spell all those names at least 5 different ways, so we just covered half of the state of Arizona, I think. That's a lot of folks. But that's the end of the extract, but it gives you a tip on what the mix of families was there back in the 1800s. And let me see. Well, coming up later in this episode, where can you go to find out about St. Patrick's Day and all of the celebrations around the world? Well, we found one place that says it does it just for you and better than anybody else according to them. More about that in a minute. Now let's move on to one of the most important segments here. That's the people that keep this podcast going. This is our member and patron search list. Jenny Martin of Wellington, New Zealand, your copy of King James Irish Army List has finally shipped. Thanks a lot. Number 2, new member Roger Lester of Anderson, Indiana, who is searching for Horan and Woolery. And his family search goes something like this. William Horan married Ellen Woolery December 26, 1871 in Winnebago County, Illinois. His daughter's death certificate gives his place of birth as Ireland. Boy, that's handy. I wish it would have given the county, but you know, most of those records just say Ireland. Now, he disappears from the record after that date, so they're still sort of looking, and they think he was dead by 1880 as his wife is remarried at that time and in Iowa. Well, I would think that's probably a safe bet. Let's hope so. Number 3, Gerald Gorman of Mendham, New Jersey. Your complete 34-book set of the Irish Families Project has shipped, and it's gone out today. Now, we have, however, sold out of our printing of The Social History of Ancient Ireland by Joyce. That was a heck of a set of books, The Social History of Ancient Ireland, but they're all gone now. It sure was a lot of fun. We co-published that with O'Brien out of Limerick, I think it was. So we're just going to have to think of something to replace it. Maybe we'll even reprint it. I don't know. We'll have to do some real deep thought about that. It costs a lot to keep those things going. Number 4, Tim O'Driscoll of Dublin, Ireland. Your Irish Families on the California Trail has shipped. I hope you find who you're looking for in there. Number 5, Patricia Schoonover Reese of Gallipolis, Ohio. Your 4 Irish family books have shipped. And let's finish it up here with John Adams of Berlin, New Jersey. So sorry, we've reshipped your County Tyrone book, so it should be there shortly. We did have a little delay, but it's all taken care of now. That book, we sent it on time. The problem was, well, we sent it to John Adams, but we sent it to a different John Adams. And we haven't heard a thing from this other John Adams that got this free book in the mail. Maybe he's got an early Christmas present this year. Well, that reminds me to say thanks to all of our members and all of our customers, everybody who buys a book, because without you, we wouldn't have the podcast. I wouldn't have all the fun of putting them together. And this is just to remind you that your purchases are welcome, and so are your donations. And we also accept silent sponsorships, so feel free. Well, we don't have a whole lot of time today with all the activity going on. So many things to tend to. I can see a few people pulling up in the driveway right now. Some folks are waving them in. They're not supposed to be doing that. They're going to get us in trouble before it's over. And O'Flaherty, the cop, will be pulling down the drive pretty soon, checking on our weight load. Well, now we're going to move on to letters to Mike from the worldwide email bag, and we're just going to pick one today. Now, here we've got Deetra Carmichael, and she's searching for McMenemy and Spratt. And she's in Tewkesbury, England. And she says that she notices that a Robert Collins is researching the name McMenemy, and that was her mother's maiden name. And she would be interested in anything that he can tell me, as she's hit a brick wall in taking both the Spratt and McMenemy sides of my mother's family back into Ireland. I am Canadian, but now living in England, thanks. Well, I've got Deetra's email on the blog. If you're interested, you can make connections directly, or anytime you hear something you want to be put in contact with on this podcast, you can also just contact me through the webpage, and I'll do my best, if the folks are still around, to get you in contact. And remember, you can also always just phone up at 816-256-3360 and leave your order or your family search or your favorite song or recitation. It all goes together. I guess you could leave your local history too, or call me and let me know about how I would contact the important people that know the local Irish history in your area. It'd be fun to put them on. Our next one we're going to is the Savannah Irish for our history podcast, History of the Irish in America. So we've already started on that. But now it's time to move on to the Irish family name of the week. Monroe is our name today, no matter how you spell it. And our researcher spells it as M-U-N-R-O. But you can add an E to that name if you want to. And the M-U-N can change to M-O-N-R-O too. You can even add a W to the end of that name. So it's Monroe, just like rowing a rowboat. The sound of the name is the important thing, and that's important for a lot of researchers to remember as you go along, especially you beginners out there. And this family search is in honor of member Edward Paynes of Toronto, Canada, who's searching for Monroe of Foley about the 1690s. That's back pretty far. You must be an expert researcher there, Edward. That's a good job. We're going to be moving on. We try to get all our members at least search one surname for all of them and put a little information, what we have, whether it be a lot or a little. Monroe's not a really common name in Ireland, so we don't have as much as others, but let's see what we can dig up. And we're also going to be covering other names in the future, so stay tuned for that. We'll have yours here one time or another. Now, the spelling of the name we just mentioned, and that comes from the Guide to Spellings of Irish Family Names, which we just came out with a second printing of just a few months ago. And the one name we didn't mention is that sometimes Monroe is a variant of Mulroy, M-U-L-R-O-Y. So we'll hear more about that in a second. But that's just something else to keep your ears out for. And it's part of variant spelling group number 1595. Now let's take just a peek at some of the history on the name of Monroe that we dug up. Now we find that Monroe is a well-known Scottish name, and sometimes it's found in Ireland. And it's also on record. Let me see. And it's also on record as being used for the name of Mulroy in County Mayo. And when we look at the name in County Mayo, we can see that it can stem from the Irish family name of Mulroe or Mulroy. Now, that family was from the High Fiacra, or the Wee Fiacra, and they are anciently traced back to the parish of Ardagh in Tyrolly in County Mayo. Father Patrick Wolfe, that tremendous researcher early on, he wrote that the name was still common in Mayo and Galway, but sometimes anglicized as Monroe. And Father Wolfe wrote, I think that would have been in the early 1900s that he published that work. So if your family goes back to Mayo or Galway, you might actually be a Mulroy in disguise. Only one way to figure that out, and that's to do the down and dirty research. Now, if you're related to the Monroe family that we see in the Irish Book of Arms, they were of the Knights of the Bath, members of that organization. So I would say if you're of that heritage, you are of Scottish heritage originally and moving into Ireland, settling here over time at some point. Let's take a look at those coats of arms and those Knights of the Bath here. What do we find? Here there is one documented coat of arms for Monroe in the Irish Book of Arms, and it's dated 1806, the sketch that we have, and they are the Knights of the Bath, and they were not a peer. Not peers, I guess that would mean not official peerage. If you take a look at those arms, you'll see two soldiers standing on either side of the crest, complete with muskets, and it looks like one fellow there has a ramrod the kind that you'd put in a cannon and then take it out and fire that baby off. Must be a military connection to this family. And they also have the picture of a turret of a castle on the arms and the crest. And atop that crest are the words, "Fear God." Well, I wonder if that means they put the fear of God in people when they're in the army. I don't know. Be interesting to find out some history on that family. I bet you could find it out if you looked in some of the official government reports. But let's take a look and see how many references we pull up when we use the free master index search on the Irish Roots webpage. Now, some of those common names, we can come up with 100 or 200 references, but Monroe is a little bit different. And we pulled up what I didn't even use the ROW spelling, but the other two spellings, we find the family name in our Families of County Kerry book and also in our Families of Donegal book. And like we said in the Irish Book of Arms one time, the Master Indexed Irish Periodicals gives us the Journal of the American Irish Historical Society, Volume 24, and there's a Hugh Monroe mentioned in that work. And the Master Guide to the Spelling of Irish Family Names that we mentioned, that was one of the other sources, number 5. Number 6, the book Irish Families Great and Small mentions the name. It's not a large entry at all, just a mention on the normal Scottish roots of the name in Ireland. And our County Mayo genealogy and family history notes has the name as well. So there's 7 that we pulled up for it. It gives you an idea of some of the counties the name did appear in, and it also tells you that it's not that common of a name in Ireland. Time for us now to move on to the websites of the week. Well, St. Patrick's Day around the world, that's going to be our selection for today, and you can click on that link on our blog, and hopefully it'll work. And they say that they're dedicated to the Irish and Irish at heart all around the world. And I quote when they say, "From here you can check out all the parades and events going on around the world to celebrate St. Patrick's Day this year. We will have compiled the biggest list available anywhere for the 2008 celebration." Boy, that's a mouthful. Let's hope it's true. I'll enjoy checking it out. Number 2, we got a note from Gould Genealogy. They focus on research for Australia. I have their email and website on the blog. You can click and go there. That's interesting. They spell it Gould. They've got a fairly good selection of works there, printed works. So if you're in Australia, you probably already know about them, but in case you didn't, just check it out. Now, let me see. We'll try a blog of the week. This one just caught my eye, and it's talking about another website with the words Irish roots in it. I think it's Irish, and then there's a dash, and then there's roots. That's not ours, though. But the head of his blog says, genealogy site, another disastrous waste of money, by James Galvin. And he writes that it's free to do a general search on the site, but €5 for a more detailed search thereafter. And he says the Irish Family History Foundation, which runs the website, says all the money goes back into making the site bigger and better. But James says the problem is if you're hunting down a lot of people, or there's a lot of people with that name, it may end up costing you a small fortune. But on the other hand, if you're only looking for one person and there's only one match, €5 would be a deal, wouldn't it? But that's sort of just the story of our lives. We're never quite sure what we're getting until we've gotten there. Well, let me see. Boy, I got people outside already. I'm going to have to hurry up. I've got time for one more note. I tell you, Lisa over at the Small Leaf Shamrock, she's got a nice blog and selection over there. And she emailed and asked me to join the blog carnival of Irish heritage and culture. And of course, I'm just now figuring out what a blog is, so I'm going to have to find the time to see exactly what this blog carnival is all about. But I sent a little blog over there just to sort of experiment, but I haven't had a chance to see what it's all about yet. But I'm sure it's something that's a collection of blogs that are usually written on a certain topic. Now, if I can only find time to read it. And you know, on another subject, that word blog just doesn't seem to roll off the tongue correctly. Sort of like, I don't know what it's like saying, sort of like blick. I'm going to write a blog. I would have picked another word, but I'm just a small cog in the world of the blog, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut from now on. It was just a first impression. Well, remember to send your books, music, or family search to me here at the Irish Roots Cafe by email or by mail to our American address. And that's at the Irish Roots Cafe, Box 7575, Kansas City, Missouri 64116. Leave your message or report on things in your part of the world on my phone recorder at 816-256-3360 or Skype me at Mick the Bridge. And there's so big old John Sweeney, and I told him to keep those folks out of downstairs. I said, as a matter of fact, I told him no more people that can come inside the cafe today unless they're with a date. It has to be a nice couple that look fairly serene, because we don't want too much raucous times in here, and I'm afraid someone's broken the rules and they've let all sorts of folks in the room today. So I better get out of here before it's too late. And remember that members foot the bill, so they get first priority, but we're open to all. And by the way, a big thank you to all of our members. And, oh wait.